Room M15, Travelodge, Bicester, September 22nd, 2022. Police are outside the door. On the other side, a teenager, laptop gone, internet banned, officers posted outside since Tuesday. He has just hacked Uber, breached Revolut, leaked 90 clips of the most anticipated video game on Earth. He used a hotel television and a $40 Fire Stick. He is 17 years old. He left school in his early teens. He is about to be arrested for the third time this year. He is still hacking when they come through the door. His father described him as very good with computers. His childhood doctor described him as a particularly impaired individual. Severe autism, a DHD, a set of diagnoses that meant he functioned, at best, at the level of 1% of his peers. He attended a special needs school. He left formal education before he was a teenager. He was briefly taken into social care after assaulting his mother. He came home. Those two descriptions, very good with computers, particularly impaired individual, sat next to each other in the courtroom. Nobody resolved them. They were both true at the same time. That tension is the whole story. He found hacking online. Forums, channels, communities built around a shared language. What you had broken, what you could prove. His doctor would later testify that hacking gave him something he had never had. Attention, recognition, a way to be seen. The psychiatrist who assessed him for trial was more precise. The notoriety, he said, was intoxicating. It fed his self-esteem. He became addicted. He was not doing it for money. Money was a side effect. He was doing it because the biggest technology companies in the world would have to answer to him. And he had found, at 16, that they would. He called himself White. The group called itself Lapsus Dollars. Lapsus Dollar did not use sophisticated malware. They did not exploit zero-day vulnerabilities. They had no nation-state backing, no years of specialist training, no technical infrastructure built over decades. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security reviewed their methods and described them as low-cost techniques, well-known and available to any threat actor. What made them extraordinary was not the tools, it was the target. They attacked people, specifically the one layer of security every major company in the world had placed between their data and the outside. Multi-factor authentication. The push notification on your phone that says, "Approve this login." The SMS code that arrives when someone tries to get into your account. Every bank, every tech company, every government agency trusted this system. It was the last line of defense. Here is the single problem that made Lapsus Dollar almost impossible to stop. MFA assumes the person receiving the prompt is the person who should be approving it. Lapsus Dollar found two ways to own that assumption. The first, MFA fatigue. Imagine it is 3 a.m. Your phone buzzes, then again, then again. You're not being hacked, you're being worn down. You press approve just to make the noise stop. In that second, the firewall did not fail. You did. The second, SIM swapping. Bribe a telecom employee to move a target's phone number to a SIM they control. Every code, every prompt comes to them instead. They paid up to $20,000 per week for telecom insiders. They advertised openly for them. They posted the job offer on Telegram, a messaging app with nearly 50,000 subscribers following their every move. They announced each attack in real time, posted stolen data publicly, asked their audience which company to hit next. They entirely in the open. Within 14 months, they breached BTEE, Nvidia, Microsoft, Samsung, Okta, Uber, Revolut, and Rockstar Games. When the Nvidia hack happened, the US government's first instinct was Russia. It was a teenager in Oxfordshire. Companies that had spent decades building security, broken in days, sometimes hours, by someone who had never sat a qualification in his life. The first mistake was getting found. In early 2022, other hackers identified Courtage, name, address, photographs, published publicly. The City of London police arrested him in January 2022, then again in March. 7 people between 16 and 21, all released. Courtage bailed, laptop taken, internet banned. A security researcher who had been tracking Lapsus Dollar for months had already mapped the group's infrastructure. He had connected usernames to real identities. He gave what he had to the police. Then he watched Lapsus Dollar keep hacking, keep posting on Telegram, keep taunting the companies they were inside. He later said it was like watching someone rob a bank and live stream it. He watched because there was nothing else to do. The second mistake was the hotel. Police moved Courtage to a Travelodge in Bicester for his own protection after the docks. Room M15, beige walls, polyester bedding, a desk barely wide enough for the laptop he was no longer allowed to have. Officers outside, internet gone. They believed this would stop him. They removed the internet. They did not remove access. He lay on the bed in the dark and thought about it the way other people think about a puzzle. Not about the consequences, about the gap. There was always a gap. He found an Amazon Fire TV stick, a keyboard, a mouse, his phone. He plugged the Fire Stick into the hotel television. He routed cloud computing services through his phone. The screen came up. He was in. On September 15th, he hacked Uber, MFA, fatigue on a contractor, then a WhatsApp message posing as Uber IT, one approval, and he was inside every system the company had. 3 days later, Revolut. On September 18th, he posted 90 clips of unreleased Grand Theft Auto, 6 footage to a gaming forum. Then he opened Rockstar Games' internal Slack and typed a message to their employees. If this story is making you see something you didn't see before, subscribe, because what comes next is the part most coverage never reaches. If Rockstar does not contact me on Telegram within 24 hours, I will start releasing the source code. The third mistake was sending that message. Police had the IP, they had the Telegram account, they had the hotel name, they had the room number. The message was not a threat, it was a location. September 22nd, 2022. City of London police outside room M15. They wait. Then they go in. Courtage is at the television, Fire Stick plugged in, keyboard on his lap, phone beside him. He is mid-hack. They take the Fire Stick, they take the phone, they take the keyboard. They arrest him for the 3rd time this year. On the screen, Rockstar's internal systems. In the room, no laptop, no desktop, no specialist equipment, nothing a teenager with a hotel TV and $40 could not have bought. Southwark Crown Court. 7 weeks. Psychiatrists assess him as unfit to stand trial. His autism means he cannot fully understand the weight of the proceedings against him. The jury is asked only one question. Did he do it? Not was he guilty. Did he do it? August 2023. 12 offenses confirmed. 6 counts of unauthorized access, 3 counts of blackmail, 2 fraud counts. Just before sentencing, a mental health assessment found he still intended to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. The case left 2 things that cannot be resolved sitting next to each other. The first, Courtage caused tens of millions in damage across some of the most security-hardened companies on Earth. At sentencing, he said he would do it again. He meant it. The second, he is a severely autistic teenager who, as doctors say, cannot fully understand the consequences of his actions, who functions at 1% of his peers, who found in hacking the only version of recognition his life had offered him, who, when the police came through the door of room M15, was not running, was not hiding, was sitting at a hotel television doing the one thing that made him feel like someone. Judge Patricia Lees sentenced him to indefinite detention in a secure psychiatric hospital on December 21st, 2023. Not 5 years, not 10, indefinite. He stays until a board of strangers decides his mind is no longer a weapon. In the UK legal system, indefinite can be longer than life. His co-defendant, 17, unnamed, received an 18-month rehabilitation order, including a ban on using VPNs. The companies he breached spent millions recovering. None of them changed their MFA infrastructure in time to stop him. None of them had assumed that exhaustion was an attack vector. None of them had built a system that accounted for a person who just wanted the noise to stop. What remained was not a breach. It was how easily it happened. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security published their assessment of Lapsus Dollar in August 2023. They found the group had exposed weaknesses across the entire technology industry. They recommended Congress fund juvenile cybercrime prevention programs. They recommended telecom companies treat SIM swaps as high-risk actions requiring strong identity checks. They recommended organizations move away from SMS-based MFA entirely. Most of their recommendations remain partially in place. In the 14 months Lapsus Dollar was active, they breached organizations worth trillions. They did it with social engineering, a Telegram channel, and access to people at telecoms companies who needed money. The average MFA push prompt takes 3 seconds to approve. That is all the gap Lapsus Dollar needed. Courtage's co-defendants remain unidentified. Other members remain at large. Every year that passes is another year the Telegram channel is gone, and the data it posted is not. Every year is another year the companies that were breached have rebuilt, and the methods that broke them are still available, still documented, still free to use. Grand Theft Auto 6 releases on November 19th, 2026. Rockstar spent $5 million recovering from the leak alone. The world is counting down. It is the most anticipated game in history. Trailers have broken records. Marketing is everywhere. The teenager who first showed it to the world is in a secure hospital in England. He still wants to hack. Every company Lapsus Dollar breached had multi-factor authentication. Every company had security teams and firewalls and compliance frameworks built over decades. None of it was designed to stop someone calling a help desk and asking nicely. None of it accounted for an employee awake at 3 a.m., approving the same notification again because they just wanted it to stop. The Telegram channel Lapsus Dollar used to announce every hack, post every stolen file, and poll 50,000 subscribers on who to breach next was also what got them caught. Every post left an IP address. Every IP address led somewhere. The transparency they performed for attention became the evidence trail that ended them. They didn't break the system. They proved it was never closed. The teenagers in this story had no tools, no malware, no experience, just a phone and a script. The man in the next story had none of those things either. He had a voice on the phone, a voice he recognized, one that asked him not to tell anyone. Within 48 hours, he had signed the paperwork on a $90,000 loan. He had never left his house.